Good morning. It's quite an honor to be here today to greet you and to commend you. I do want to say when I received this invitation from John O'Neill, I was excited because I missed these kinds of openings that I had an opportunity to participate in when I was the state superintendent. So I'm thrilled today to be here to welcome you and to tell you a little bit about my story and how that has accelerated my dedication to education and to being in this profession. I also want to introduce someone who's accompanied me and who works very hard with me every day, and that is Renee Spence, who is the Assistant Presidential Scholar at Towson University. Let me just say that today I want the message to be that you are joining the profession here in Carroll County that makes every other profession possible. Without the work that you will do in your position as teachers, we have no students who are going to be prepared for any other profession. And therefore, your position is fundamental and critical to success of our students in whatever avenue they choose. The second message is you've made a wise decision in choosing Carroll County. Carroll County has become sort of the standard to which other systems choose to look in terms of success for students. And so I have huge pride in what's happening here because I do believe it is the benchmark of excellence that we strive for in this profession. And that's a commendation to all of the people here who are assuming important positions to ensure that this system is the best in the state of Maryland and perhaps across the country. So I think education is the greatest profession. I didn't always think that. When I was a high school student, I was determined to become a physician. That was my goal. I worked very hard to have excellent grades so that I might be considered qualified to pursue that as I went on to college and medical school. But as luck would have it, I had an unanticipated situation that occurred in my life. I was given penicillin, and at that time, many years ago, you weren't tested for any allergy to any medication, or at least not penicillin. And I became very, very ill and was rushed to the hospital. The residual result of that was that I could not hear. My ears were terribly affected. So you can imagine, as a pretty gregarious high school student, not being able to interact in the same way because I couldn't hear and had to undergo a lot of medical treatment. I was devastated. I was devastated socially, I was devastated academically. And so I began to shift my interest to, okay, what are some of the really great people who've experienced hearing impairment and have gone on to huge success? And of course, the one person was Helen Keller. But it wasn't just Helen Keller. It was her teacher, Anne Sullivan, who unlocked the brilliance of this woman. And we all know this story. And so suddenly, I became the person who was going to be the new Anne Sullivan, to work with the deaf. And so, as you heard, I went on to Gallaudet University, lived in the deaf community, and then taught the deaf, and still maintain a relationship with that community, because I felt that this was a calling for me that was more important than any other calling. And so through my affiliation with special education, and as you heard, I had many different positions. But I also currently work at the Kennedy Krieger Institute in addition to my work at Towson University. And so this passion about the potential of children with disabilities remains with me, and I hope to exercise it every single day. And so when I chose the profession of teaching, and it was specific to that population, although I've had the great opportunity to expand that to all cohorts of children, I was so excited about the change that I could make in the lives of these children. And more than, I hate to admit it, more than 60 years ago, the preschool deaf children that I taught, I still remain in contact with, and to know their successes. It's the power of the profession. It's the power of teaching. It's the power of influence on the lives of children and young adults in our high schools that matters. And that's what you have the opportunity to craft, to achieve, and to value. And I know that you've been selected very carefully to be in this wonderful school system. And so you will have that opportunity. And I applaud you for your decision-making, and I applaud you for what I foresee as the wonderful opportunities you'll provide for the students with whom you teach. I just want you to love this profession, to be the very best professional you can be, and to serve as a model, not only for your fellow teachers, for your administrators, but also, most of all, for your students. And, you know, every TV show you see where they're talking to influential people, they say, who is the teacher that mattered most to you? And what was the impact of that teacher? And so each one of you has that potential to be that teacher. And so that is the message I'd just like to leave you with today, to love this profession, to feel honored by it, and to also remember that education is not just the learning of facts, but the training of each child's mind to think. Because in our rapidly changing world, what we may consider the fact today may not be the fact tomorrow. And it is through our ability to help children think analytically that we're going to see success for those children. And so as I walked in today and you had your marching band with a student director, you can't imagine what that meant to me, to see the excitement and the joy that those students had in performing, not just for me, but for all of you, and to know that these opportunities are presented across Carroll County, and what a wonderful system it is. And so as I exit today, I just want to say best wishes to you. Remember the depth of your contribution, and remember my opening comment, and that is, you make every other profession possible. Thank you for inviting me for these few words today. I'm honored to be here. I wish everyone who's sitting in this audience best wishes for this coming school year. Thank you so much.